Hey everyone, my name is Celia with Conscious Dream Academy, and I talk all things dreamwork and beyond. Full disclosure, I haven't made a podcast episode in a very long time because I've been focused on other things as well as resistant to doing it. And so I want to do a brief episode today so that I can get momentum and begin doing it. I have so many stories of the dream world and all that I've learned, and I want to share. So I decided for today's topic, for your journey with me, for hopefully only about 20 minutes is my idea, but we'll see what happens. I pulled a card, and the card is Successive Transformation. So, number 13. And this card is from the Sacred Creators Oracle deck by Chris Ann. It's the first Oracle deck I ever got, and I absolutely love it. Successive Transformation. This card really nails dream work down because we are waking up into this earth reality each day, and there's a spiral experience. So it's like we spiral to a lesson on our timeline as the version of ourselves that we are in that now. And whatever that experience is, maybe like a test in a school, you pass it and then you're done. Like that can, like, I don't know, let's just imagine it like the energy of that lesson like melts into the earth. So energy can change. It doesn't disappear, but it change. It can't be created or destroyed. It just like it changes. And so like, let's say that lesson, like, oh, I passed it, and then it just like melts into the ground, or it just like the energy like floats into the ethers, however you want to picture that energy going away. But if you haven't healed that lesson, learned that lesson fully, as you move along your path, you'll spiral back to that lesson, and then you'll be a different version of yourself because of your choices on the path as you arrive again to that point, to that next encounter with the lesson. So successive transformation really goes along with that. Since I stopped using a lot of distracting type of substances, or just like staying really busy, pulling back from, this like the drama that's going on in this world, pulling my energy back home, very present in the now, I'm more easily able to observe the spiral and when the things pop up. And it's not like there's just one thing. There'll be like, a dozen things. And then as you walk around your path, they pop up. You're a different version of yourself. And ideally, like sometimes I'll be hard on myself. Like, oh, I see that this has popped up. I see that this is my opportunity to make a different choice. I expect perfection from myself, and I want my choice to be the perfect choice. I want to just absolutely handle this like the perfect version of me, who would never have any flaws or any weakness, but instead it's often, until you grow on your path, like choose growth during the spiral walk. So it's like, okay, you have the lesson, you go on your walk around the spiral, if on that walk around the spiral, you're choosing growth, you're choosing to, elevate yourself with your thoughts, your actions, etc., etc., then you arrive back as the warrior that you are, and you encounter this thing, and it's like you're going to have a battle. It's like, okay, I'm back for my next battle. And if you've done the work, like in battle terminology, it's like, oh, I've been lifting, I've been training, I've been, working on my mind. Like, I am going to, arrive as a more elevated version. And I'm like, okay, let me do this battle. And it doesn't mean you're going to win the battle, but it doesn't mean, that's like the saying, like, the war isn't over. Just because you lose a battle, the war's not over. I'm going a little like sideways with this, but I don't care. It's personally, okay, you encounter the thing, you're at a place of nowness where you're observing at a level where you see that the thing has arrived, and then you get the opportunity to respond, less of reacting, more of responding. And are you going to get it perfect? Maybe not this time. But after you respond, and then you evaluate how your response went, how you chose to behave, to think, it's like having grace for yourself, but then also seeing where you have improved, and like reflecting on the past version of you, how you handled that situation, and how quickly you recovered from the situation this time versus that time. And it's really important to acknowledge how far we've come. I find it kind of difficult sometimes, but then things will happen in the universe that, like, someone will mirror it back to you. Like, I will have a friend who will be like, hey, Celia, remember, this many years ago when this would happen, like, what was going on? And I'm like, oh my God, I am a different version of myself. And this lesson is still challenging, but it's like, fucking, I've elevated like 400 levels or however many levels. And that's important. That's important to acknowledge, because, well, like this card, successive transformation. So eventually if you're like determined to, heal the things on the path. And it's not really healing the things on the path, it's healing yourself. And the things on the path are what trigger yourself. They're just triggering whatever's within that there is room for healing. So it's not those things that, sometimes the external things, they need their own healing, that whatever, but it's like, ultimately it's an inside job. And let's look at more at what this card says. So the card essence: the end of one thing and the beginning of another. Rebirth, successive growth, continuous improvement, transformation, and change. One step leads to the next, and your successive transformation will ultimately lead to your success and your happiness. The first attempt on this card was imperfect. So the card has a drawing. It looks like a sacred geometry drawing. The pyramid wasn't symmetrical, it was wonky. By building on that first attempt, a second structure was built, and it was glorious and perfect and everything it needed to be. And then it just keeps going, and this book is just so great. I would keep reading it, but instead, oh my gosh, I want to just read the whole thing, but that's not the point of this podcast. So eventually, you're going to walk on your spiral path and arrive at the lesson, and it'll finally divine timing, be the time where you're going to encounter it, and it won't be as challenging to make the decisions that you've always wanted to be able to make, but you just weren't quite ready. And one of the beautiful things about dream work, and by dream work I mean paying attention to what's coming through your dreams, is you're going to be, once you have a dream practice where you're allowing the dreams to flow in and you're choosing to, look at them, give them like almost like a meditation experience each day where you acknowledge what came through, you get dished out the next little like sliver of truth for you to look at so that you may elevate as you travel on the spiral. And because of dream work and just an overall intention overall, I've been able to really quantum leap so many things on my path that used to really keep me stuck, that I did not understand how to move past. And dream work is such a gift because it's like, where else in life are you just getting handed like the next sliver of truth? Like, it's not coming from outside of you. It's literally like very personal, and then whatever comes through, you learn to trust your intuition more and develop this arsenal, this toolkit inside of you where you begin to trust yourself and get to know yourself so well and realize your ability to shift your reality. So it talks about continuous self-improvement is key. We're never done learning who we are. We are never done becoming who we are becoming. I occasionally am like, okay, if I can just heal this one thing that I'm struggling with, then it'll all be better. But I know that I'll just have a different layer uncovered once I heal the thing. And then I'll be challenged by that next thing. So sometimes it's not about like, I need to heal. It's like, be with whatever the current experience is. Like, sit in the energy of it. Just like sit in it and be like, oh, thank you. Thank you for this challenge. There's so many other challenges I wouldn't want. And maybe I don't feel ready for the next challenge. So let me just like be grateful for this challenge. It says, it's never too late to make it. Sometimes successive transformation means letting go of old ideas and old ways of being in order to be reborn into a better opportunity. It's really amazing when you start to release your old programming and realize that you can. My dreams this week, they are saying, the way they show it is like, there's a newspaper and they're like, chuck the newspaper as far away as you can. Like, throw that motherfucker all the way away. And they're like, turn off the TV and it's interesting because so many people are living in fear of all the drama going on all around. And I've accessed this wonderful fountain of joy because I've pulled my energy in, and I'm having, like, here I am on earth. I wake up into this earth experience in this vessel. I get to be Celia. And how do I want to feel? okay, that's not the same as how the external world is telling me I'm supposed to feel. So when you realize there's few things you have control over, and one of them is, how do I want to feel? And it doesn't mean you're going to wake up every day feeling amazing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about practicing choosing how you want to feel, and then you become wired for it, and then you get in that flow and you get to be it. My mother, I love that she says this because it helps to remind me what I'm doing. If anyone asks how I'm doing, she tells them, oh, Celia's making lemonade. Celia's busy making lemonade. And when I asked her about this, when she told me that she had been doing it, I was like, whoa, what do you mean? And she's like, you've been through some really hard shit, and all I've seen you do is choose to make lemonade. And so I'm like determined to make lemonade, like make something that feels impossible, something that the outside world is gonna, a lot of people are gonna look at and be like, they're gonna judge me, perhaps, I would say more like guaranteed, but I'm making lemonade. And also it's like, I just thought of this. So if you're gonna be making lemonade, if you're here on earth, you have your hands, the way the dreams show it, it's like, what's a girl to do with two hands? So you're a creator. You have two hands and you can bring them together to create something. What are you creating? Okay, so if we're making lemonade, if you're making a beverage symbolically, metaphorically in your life, make a fucking drink that you actually want to drink. So make a delicious drink. Let's just say lemonade is very healthy. Let's act like it's like very healthy for you. I'm gonna make a drink I want to drink, okay? So just because on the shelves, what is available is fear and scarcity and a whole bunch of other things that I don't want to drink, I'm not gonna put that in my cup. And we are whatever our cup is full of. A lot of people, like my cup didn't used to be full. My proverbial, I don't know if that's the right word, doesn't matter. My cup wasn't full. And life was really hard, right? It wasn't cute. Now I've learned to fill my cup. And what am I filling my cup with? Lemonade. It's really fun to play with this reality. And it's also really fun. It's like, this is the laboratory of our life. And everything we do is an experiment. And when you unblock your throat chakra, and you speak out your ideas, you speak your truth, then someone could actually hear you that needs to hear it, that maybe is stuck, but also the people that are going to be into what you're saying, the people that you might actually like to have a conversation with, can find you. And I have a beautiful community of souls that they get me. And if I just stayed quiet, I would be alone, because I personally don't get a lot out of small talk. By I don't get a lot, I mean I avoid it deeply. I would not sign up for that. It drains me. I hate it. And so my current circle, it's all people where you can dream and you can experiment, try out ideas and say here's what I'm experimenting with right now, and this is how it's going, and it's playful. And yeah, so the dreams say throw away the newspaper. I know this could be deeply triggering to some people, but there's not a lot you can do about all the drama of the world. Yes, work your cause, whatever it is, but if you let your cup be full of that fear and scarcity and doom and gloom, it's that's what you're drinking, then that's how you're going to feel, and that's the experience you're going to have here on earth. My guides are saying, if you want to choose heaven on earth, You need to attune to the frequency of that and give yourself permission for that to be okay. And then you'll discover that there's so many other people doing that and that it is absolutely possible. And I just want to say, good job, Celia. You just recorded for 20 minutes and didn't avoid making a podcast episode. So everyone, just be nice to yourself. And you got this. Successive transformation. And just try to relax. Just relax, okay, everybody? All right, sending big love, especially to myself for actually doing this. And I hope this made sense to someone. I think someone's calling me, so I gotta go.